Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. Isn't it interesting how the shape of the landscape traps water in that one section around the hugel bed? Basically there's like a little depression. I built the hugel bed around the side so that it would trap water from running downhill, right? So whatever water runs downhill catches there and then starts rolling around, and you can really take advantage of things like this. Basically the rest of the grass is like totally brown and dead. Then we got just one little rain like 2 weeks ago, and it forced all that water underground, and then the grass is getting quite vigorous in that area. So if you have a homestead or something like that, you can make little changes to the landscape like this so that the water is harvested instead of running just right off of the property, and it will make it more productive. Once I'm Bitcoin retired, I planned on getting into things like this a lot more. Right now I almost don't even have time. I'm as a diesel mechanic, I mean, by the end of the day, I'm like, my ass is totally whipped. Oh, got a bird in there. I hope he's not eating my grapes. Some of these might be small enough for him. Fairly soon, these things are going to be ready. Not yet. Okay. I just wanted to cover one thing about Bitcoins, obviously. Pardon, the flash is still on. Let's see. Bitcoin Wisdom. It's an old website, but it still does the job for me, for a long-term buy and hold kind of guy. But basically, you can see we had like this pretty dramatic pump up, but and let me see if I could just go all the way back to, yeah, here's like that big pump to up to almost 20,000. And basically a lot of people who are traders, they were not set up to take advantage of it, because they were always expecting the top to be right there, and then a lot of them stayed in cash or partly in cash. I saw the same thing happened in the last year, I think, when it went over 1,000. Hey Dad. Anyway, just making a video. Anyway, but when you're a long-term buy and hold kind of guy, you can really take advantage of all of these. I mean, the price moves up and down, but the giant changes that just pretty much change the way the whole thing works pretty much forever. Like from at the beginning of 2017, it was about $1,000 each. And then at the end of 2017, it was call it 13,000 each, right? Now the buy and hold guys, we kind of got bit on that, but starting from 1,000 and ending at 13,000, it's a pretty good gain. And even starting at 1,000 and ending at the current price of 6,470, that is a pretty good gain. So the big long-term swings that happen every 2 or 3 years, the long-term buy and hodlers, we are set up to take advantage of that. And it's a real fire and forget strategy. I mean, you can add to your Bitcoins every month like I do, and then basically just go on with your life and let it handle itself, instead of being glued to your computer permanently for months on end, trying to buy low and sell high. And supposedly 90% of traders lose money, and when I tried it, was one of those people who lost money. So I figured I'd just change my strategy. This was a long time ago, like 2015. I figured I'd just change my strategy to long-term buy and hold and go on with my life. Okay, and one more thing. Ooh, I should have turned that flash off before I turned the camera on. Anyway, there are some things, and basically most of the people who probably shouldn't hear this message anyway or have tuned out by now, but most of the people who, I mean, okay, back to what I was saying. There are things on YouTube, as we all know, that we can't discuss, and we are censored and basically just completely, and some of us have lost our channels, and it's just it's too bad, but we just have to be careful with what we say here on YouTube. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say. And if you're curious about what I'm talking about, you can follow the link to my new channel on BitTube, and it's a platform where a little bit more freedom exists. Well, a heck of a lot more freedom exists. So if you're curious, you can follow me there. Later. Oh, and don't get married.